Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Casey. Casey is from Minnesota in the USA. So let's see what Casey has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello, Casey. Hello.
Hey,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
How's your morning going so far?
Pretty good. Only had one cup of coffee.
Thank you so much for taking the time this morning for the interview. Thank you.
Of course.
How is Chris?
He's doing good.
How long do you know Chris for?
Uh, 2 years about.
Okay.
Met through a mutual friend.
And you mentioned that you are friends as well. You became friends 2 years ago.
Yes.
Amazing. So tell me, how was your Saturday yesterday?
Pretty good. Did a short bike ride to make sure the bikes are ready to go for the rest of the season now that it's finally warming up here.
So tell me, where are you from, Casey?
I've always lived in northern Minnesota.
See. And say that again, the name of the city?
I'm in Virginia, Minnesota.
Virginia. Okay. Born and raised?
Grew up an hour west of here.
I see.
But...
And what's the best part of living in Virginia?
Just northern Minnesota in general has so much nature and trees and lakes and pretty peaceful and quiet up here.
Oh, I feel like being there right now. It's great to be able to, to go around, like visit lakes, nature itself. I think it's a gift when we are able to be part of it somehow.
Yes, absolutely.
Casey, tell me, what do you do for work, for living?
I am a software engineer.
Tell me a little bit about your job.
So I actually maintain ancient mainframe software and mostly work on insurance systems, claims processing. But it's a lot of sitting at my desk and figuring out what someone was thinking 40 years ago when they originally wrote the software.
Do you work sometimes from home as well, or in the office?
I'm from home.
Okay, amazing. Right, so before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
I guess we could go with I grew up in a cult. Yeah, and I finally got out. Well, I realized I was in a cult when I was like in my early 20s, but actually like being completely free and on my own's only been a handful of years.
So tell me, what is growing up in a cult? What that means?
So I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, if you've ever heard of that religion.
Oh, yes, the religion, yeah.
From the outside, they try to make themselves appear very normal, just another Christian denomination. But it is very much a very high control religion. There's something called the BITE model, which stands for behavior, information, thought, and emotion control. And like the higher, like different societies like rate in all these categories, like determines like how much of a high control group they are. And Jehovah's Witnesses like rank very high on keeping everyone in line and uniform and keeping you busy and shutting down like any questioning of any teachings or practices that they have. And they have some really harmful practices that have led to that they don't like people questioning. Like they have a history of hiding child abuse and not reporting it to authorities because they want to keep everything in house and like don't involve outside people in anything that could like look bad.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Casey. It's interesting you saying that because I had a few guests on the show actually that they mentioned that they were trapped as well because of their families. You know, they grew up in that way. Let's say, as you said, caught, yeah. And
Yeah.
interesting you saying that. Thanks for sharing. I think it's good to talk about because imagine we never know. Maybe someone watched the interview right now. Maybe it's still there and they don't know. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's always important and it's good to share in those experiences that we had. I'm sure it wasn't easy for you to deal with that.
Yeah, no, not at all, especially since like being gay, I cannot be openly gay and like even like pretend to still be a Jehovah's Witness, because like if I was straight, I could pretend that I still believe, and everyone that I've known my entire life would still visit and hang out with me and stuff, and I'd still be able to hang out with my family. But it's like if I want to be myself, they won't accept that, and therefore it's like I am cut off from like everyone I grew up with, all my family. It's like an extra layer of difficulty.
Wow. I'm glad that you are in a better place now, that now you can express the way you are, and now you are sharing your experience. And I'm sure you might be happy helping some people around the world. You never know. So it's good to talk about. Yeah. And I'm glad that you bring up this topic because it's sad in a way, you know what I mean? It's sad for us to be controlled for people using the name of God or religion or anything to keep us, in a place where we don't belong, we don't accept, we don't understand. And as you said, they keep that all of that covered. That's people they don't know, and sometimes people they might live a lifetime without knowing that they think is right or it's the way that So yeah, thanks so much for sharing that experience in your life. That it's great, amazing. And are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and to share your point of views?
Sure.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend. Okay, full of random questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay? Let's do it. Okay, see, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. First question for you is, what is something you wish you could do every single day?
Oh, every single day. I love swimming. I wish half the year wasn't too cold to be swimming in the lakes up here in Minnesota, because a lake is so much different than swimming in a pool.
Tell me why.
Just none of the chemicals, and it always just feels so refreshing up here. It's like all the lakes up here are like very clean and pristine, so you don't get that chlorine feel. It just feels so refreshing.
And you always liked swimming?
Yeah, growing up in the land of 10,000 lakes, There was
Oh my
a
God.
lake. I had two lakes within walking distance of my house growing up, so I could just walk down to the beach anytime I wanted, pretty much.
Wow. And tell me right now, what's the closest lake to you? How far is the closest?
Uh, Probably a mile and a half, and
Oh,
there's probably three within that distance, just all in different directions.
wow. And it's quite busy. People go a lot as well during this time of the year to swim.
Uh, this time of year, it's still a little cold. The
Uh-huh.
ice went out on the lakes only a couple weeks ago, so they're still pretty frigid. But end of June, the lakes will be busy with people swimming.
See. One day when I come to Minnesota, I would like to swim on those lakes. Can you guide me?
Oh, oh yeah, I can show you where some really pretty ones that look are the color of the Caribbean, just bright
Wow.
blue.
Wow. Can't wait. Okay, deal.
Okay.
Next question. Let's do it. Next question for you is, what do you consider most romantic?
Most romantic. Um, I don't know. I always just enjoy spending time with someone just one on one, maybe like cuddled up on the couch, either watching TV or a movie or playing video games or something. But just like it doesn't have to be anything wild and fancy, just spending time together where you can just relax and have some fun.
Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I try to be.
Tell me something romantic that you have done to someone, or someone have done for you, that you go like, okay, that's something special that you're never gonna forget.
Like I can't think of any like big grand gestures. It's like I always try to just do like little things. If I like see, someone like down or needs something and I can easily like help them with something, it's like I try to do it.
I think small gestures is very romantic. I think nowadays, the world that we live right now, when someone does something like so simple, it's like it means the world, because it's genuine.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes like the big grand gestures people put on just to make a show, and like it's like it feels ingenuine. It's like disingenuous, and
Yeah,
it's like let's do the little things constantly, not one big thing once a year.
totally. I agree as well. Agree. Next question. Let's do it. Next question is, which question you'd like to be asked?
What? Oh, that's a tough question because I don't like being asked questions.
Tell me when, for example, if you meet someone, or if you, for example, you are in an interview, which question, like, oh, I wish this person could ask me about this or about that topic so I could talk a little bit about it. It's something?
I guess hobbies, like what hobbies I have.
So tell me, what's the hobbies that you like, that you always been part of your life?
Um, I've always liked photography, even like as like a kid growing up. I always remember having fun with just like the cheap 35 millimeter cameras, and eventually got myself digital cameras. And then I like doing astrophotography and going out and taking pictures of the stars and the moon and the Milky Way.
That's amazing. Yeah, I can hear that. So you like to take pictures of the moon and the nature?
Yes.
Wow, wow. And so tell me, do you do that very often, or?
Um, I try to keep my camera in my truck with me because I never know what I'm going to see as I'm driving down the road up here because it's so much nature.
Wow, amazing. All right. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Casey, before the next question, tell me what you like the most about your job. What's the best joy of it? And the flip side, something that you find very challenging.
I always like the problem solving of looking at this is what this program's currently doing. This is what we want it to do. Like, how do we change things to make it work without breaking everything else? Because some of these legacy systems are so interconnected in ways that you don't realize at first, that you have to be careful that as you're changing things, you might fix a problem in your area but break something else for another team.
And that you find very challenging as well?
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's like, it's fun most of the time, but that can also be the part that's like the most stressful about the job, especially if it's like an emergency situation where you need to find a problem as fast as you can, and you're trying to, wade through 40-year-old code and figure out what went wrong and how to fix it without breaking something else.
I see. All right. Next question is, who are you most thankful for and why?
Probably my good friends Chris and Matt. They're both like such genuine people and always there to help and support and give me a ear to drown them in my life details, and they just listen and always there to support me however they can.
What's the biggest similarity between, you said Matt and Chris, yeah?
Yes.
What's the biggest similarity between Matt and Chris and you? And what's the biggest difference between three of you?
Like, we all enjoy playing video games and similar hobbies and stuff. But like, biggest difference, Matt is probably the most outgoing and like social one of us. Chris is much more introverted, and I'm probably somewhere in the middle between the.
I remember Chris is he's part of the pub community. Are you part of the pub community as well?
Yes, not nearly as much as Chris, but it is, I enjoy it.
All right. Ready for another question?
Yes.
Let's do it. Next question. Hey, Casey, next question is, what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever said to you?
Probably when I came out, and it's like I can never remember like who exactly said what, but just like the friends that stuck with me even when I came out and just supported me and said, we like love you and support you no matter what. It's like this, it doesn't change anything, because there was so many in my life that did like walk away when I came out. So the friends that did stick around and like just support me, that that's the most beautiful thing.
For sure. So tell me, when you came out, did something happen, or just felt like, okay, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna be my true self from now on? And the second part of the question is, did your family support you?
I was like mentally preparing myself to come out, and before I got to, someone sent online screenshots of the profiles they found of me online and sent them to my family and outed me.
Oh no.
Like at least I had been like, it was, I'd planned on within like in a month coming out anyways, so it wasn't like it, like I kind of knew what to, like I'd been preparing for it, so it wasn't just like totally out of the, like, or like I was completely unprepared for it, but it was still
scary,
like, very traumatic. And like all of a sudden it's like, I wasn't gonna tell you that yet, and now everyone knows. Yeah, and my family was not supportive at all. It's like, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, which is a very high control group. Like they don't, it's like, and homosexuality is not something they allow. And all of my family is very much in the religion, and they chose their faith over having a relationship with me.
I see. But nowadays, the relationship is still broken, or you kind of got more understanding?
I haven't spoken to any of my family in 2 years now.
I see. Do you think one day they will kind of open their minds and they're gonna kind of understand with time?
I hope so, but at this point, like I don't see signs of that happening right now.
I see. You know what I understand, Casey. It's so common to happen that, you know, family, they, you know, support us because of religion, society, for any reasons, yeah. But at the same time as well, I believe that sometimes they need their time. You know what I mean? They need their time to understand or to take the information somehow. And sometimes, you know, the information comes to them somehow. You know what I mean? Maybe through technology, like through social media, through other people as well, or maybe they just want to open their minds. You know, it comes with time. I think, I just hope that you know, one day, you know, I receive a message from you saying, William, you know what, I reconnect with my family again. So I think it to, you know, let themselves take their time as well. You know, in one point they might realize that, you know, come on, it's something that how can we, you know, be away from someone that they are the truly self? It doesn't matter how, you know. So hopefully one day things gonna get back together again, and I'm sure you are in good hands, as you said about your friends. And, you know, that's sometimes it makes a big difference sometimes as well, having some people around us that somehow is gonna support us. So yeah, I think that's you know what I mean.
Yes, it's like I hope to have my like biological family back someday, but for now I have my chosen family.
Absolutely. And you never know, maybe this interview gonna get to them somehow as well, and they're gonna see how much, you know, you just wait, you're expecting that one day they're gonna just accept the way you are. And sometimes as well, what I understand is sometimes they don't even need to understand much. They don't need, you know, to go into it, just to accept, respect. Even if they don't want to talk about, they just want to live the way it is, it's fine as well. But just reconnect and say, look, you know what, you have your life, I don't want to get into too much, you know, it's too much information for me, I don't know how to face that. But I think some people sometimes they take their time and they realize that. Do you know what I mean? It's quite common as well. I've had so many people, even friends, talking about sharing experience that their family, they reconnect again. They just said, look, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't want to get into it, but I just miss you. I just want to get connect with you. So yeah, let's leave the universe, or and do that job and see how things gonna come.
Yes.
Amazing. Next question.
Okay.
Let's do it. Next question for you is, what is the one food you could eat for the rest of your life?
Probably pizza, just because there's so many variations on it. So I know it's probably like a cliche answer, but pizza comes in so many forms that it, can't get tired with it.
Do you like cooking?
I like cooking. I hate washing the dishes after cooking.
What do you like to cook that your friends, they like the most?
I think when in the summer, when I bust out the grill and do some ribs on the grill, I got a pretty good recipe for that everyone likes.
Wow. Amazing. Right, I have 3 questions left for you, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Next question is, what are you most passionate about?
I've always been like a technology nerd, I guess. Like I spend it's like I work on computers all day, and then in my free time I spend a lot of time tinkering with my computer and either playing games or just experimenting with stuff, and just like always learning and playing and tinkering with technology.
Actually, I made a note here. When I saw your profile, I made a note here, sci-fi fan.
Yes. Yeah, I love like Star Trek, Star Wars, watch all the shows. I have, like a replica lightsaber in my room.
Wow. So do you like those Star Wars movies?
Yeah, Star Wars and Star Trek. I'm probably a bigger Star Trek fan, but like they're both great franchises. I don't hate on one and love the other. It's like they're both great.
Amazing. Good. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me, when you mentioned about getting out of that cult that you're involved, religion involved there. When you decide to leave, that was the moment when you came out, or you left before that?
I had been mentally out for years, but maintained appearances, just to maintain relationships. But I knew once I came out, like I would be like pushed out of the religion, even if I wanted to stay, because they're like, no, you can't be gay and a Jehovah's Witness. So even if you want to be, you can't. So you're gonna lose your family. Even if I wasn't gay, if I left the religion, I'd lose my family, because that's how they try to control you, is emotional blackmail. And it's like, you have to stay and follow all our rules, or everyone you ever knew growing up and all your family that's part of the religion, they're gonna cut you off.
I see. And that was the moment when you said, okay, I need to move away from that term or that situation.
Yeah, it's when you're sitting there week after week and they're constantly talking about like how horrible gay people are, and you're just sitting there like, well, I'm one of those, and you're like you might not know it, but it's like it's so emotionally and mentally damaging to just sit there and being told how awful of a person you
Wow.
are just for being the way you are.
Wow. How old are you when you realized that you were gay, that you said you start understanding?
Like I probably didn't put that label to it until like early teens,
Mm-hmm.
but even in like elementary school, like I remember like all the other boys having crushes on girls, and I had zero, and like I didn't have a crush on any girl, but I remember like, well, everyone else does, so I'm gonna say I have a crush on so and so just so I'm not different.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Next question for you is, what is your idea of a perfect day?
um Probably a day spent out in nature, like go do some hiking, walk around the woods, you know, sit on the beach, soak up some sun, then, you know, do a campfire cookout that night.
Let's see. Amazing. I just feel like going out to nature right now after talking to you.
It's a great place to be.
Totally, absolutely. I think we recharge your batteries. You just get yourself ready when you are in touch with nature. Yeah.
Yes,
Ready for the last question?
I am.
Let's do it. Last question. But before the last question, Casey, if you had the chance, let's say now, if you have your family watching this interview right now, yeah, and you had the opportunity to maybe to say something or to express yourself regarding, the situation right now. If you'd like to maybe send a message, you had the opportunity, would you like to say something?
Sure. Um, just that, like, I still love you all, and like, I would love for you to be a part of my life again, but like, it it has to be like when you accept me at least to some degree and not, you know, make me feel bad for being who I am.
Great. I just hope this message get to them somehow, and they just understand that you are the same lovely person that they always knew, that they always, you are just something that you cannot control. It's in you. It's about your nature. It's about your heart. It's about your feelings. It doesn't change anything about yourself. You are the same person. You're just something that you didn't choose to be like that. You just were born this way like anybody else. Like we don't choose to come to this world as a boy, as a girl, in different countries, different cultures, or even different, you know, um, color, different nations. We don't choose those things. It just happened to us, and sometimes we don't even know how to explain or to understand as well. And I think people they should just understand that you are the same lovely person, the lovely Casey that's always been. You are just being truly to yourself now to be, happy with yourself and to give happiness around as well. Because if you're not happy with yourself, you cannot be happy with other people as well. There's something there not sorted. So yeah, just hope
Yep.
that this message should get to them somehow.
Yes.
Amazing. Last question for you is, I think this question is going to be very easy for you to answer. What did you think was the most challenging part of being a kid?
Um, yeah, my religious background, it's like growing up, like it's like yeah, it's like we went to like multiple meetings every week to take up our time, had to, go out in the ministry, knocking on doors, taking up our time, like never got to really watch Saturday morning cartoons growing up as a kid, because Saturday mornings is when we had to go out and preach. And, it never didn't really have a normal childhood. It's like I went to public school. I had a few like friends like outside of the religion, but I only ever got to socialize with them at school. It's like we never did anything after school or during the summer when school was out. It was like grew up very isolated in a way.
I'm gonna ask a question for you, a tough question for you right now. Okay. If you had the superpower of erasing that period of your life, that you went through that, would you erase it from your life, or would you keep it, knowing the person you are right now?
I don't like my past shaped who I am now, and I don't know, like I like who I am now, and I don't know if I'd get to where I am now without going through what I went through. So, like, yes, it was like rough and it wasn't easy, but it did form who I am.
Totally. I think we need those time, not easy when you are facing, but when you get to a point like you are right now, you are happy with yourself, you know the person you are being truly to yourself. You go like, okay, now I understand why I went through that, and maybe if you didn't go, maybe you wouldn't be a happy person right now. So I think at the end of the day, those challenge journey count somehow as well.
Yeah. And it's like, I hope anyone that like sees this, it's like inspires them that, things can get better. It's like you can make it through. It's like you just have to keep going.
Absolutely amazing. Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Let's start with money.
Security.
Family.
Love.
Oh, sweet. One word for love.
Well, now I'm already thinking family.
Okay, amazing. Life.
Happiness.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Stressful.
Religion.
Hurtful.
Fear.
Control.
Friendship.
Necessary.
Desire.
Dreams.
Regret.
Life.
Okay. Success.
What was that?
Success.
Happiness.
Wish.
Dreams.
One word for happiness.
Friends.
One word for Virginia.
Dusty.
One word for Minnesota.
Nature.
USA.
Gigantic.
Say again?
Gigantic. It's huge.
Very big, for sure. One word for the last one now, sci-fi, one word.
Creativity.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet Matt and Chris, yeah, for a coffee. And I'm going to hear Chris' voice. I remember his voice was like that. I'm going to meet both of them for a coffee, and I'm going to ask both of them, what is the most beautiful thing about Casey, and what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What they would say?
I think they'd both say that I try to be very like thoughtful and helpful and caring. And then they'd probably both complain about my indecisiveness.
Always being indecisive?
Yeah, I've been an indecisive procrastinator as long as I can remember.
Wow. Welcome to the club as well. Most of the time, I'm so difficult to make choice, to make decisions. When my friends go like, "Oh, would you like to go here or there?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'd like to go both." Let's play now, Casey and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. All right, you can ask me a question now.
Okay. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Beautiful question. Beautiful question. Right. The first thing that comes to my mind, Casey, is I remember growing up back in Brazil. Yeah. When I look back, my goodness, I was so free. You know, I had this freedom. My parents, they always let me to be free. I remember like spending when I wasn't studying. I remember like playing, climbing trees, eating fruits like from the trees. Meeting friends. I remember I was literally like outdoors all the time. When you say about the lakes, I was the same as well. I loved being in touch with nature. I remember my uncle and my aunt, they used to live in a farm. So all my school holidays or sometimes long weekends, I was going there. And for me, it was the best thing always, because I was swimming, I was with horses. I remember we didn't have electricity there. I remember looking at the stars. My aunt, she was like tell us stories. Oh my God, that for me was the best. Like when I look back, I think as yourself, you were so lucky with that you had a chance to be around nature, at the time, because for us, like for me, I live in such a big city like London, and nowadays with technology, you see so many children, it's good. Technology is not bad. It's good as well. But the childhood that we had, they're not going to have right now, because it's a different world right now. So that's what I miss the most. When I close my eyes sometimes and I go like, oh my God, how amazing. When I close my eyes sometimes and think about it, I can smell it, I can taste it, the taste of the fruit. So the air, everything about it. It was such a, and I feel so lucky that I had the opportunity to be there at the time, and I think that's what I miss the most, being free, like, like with no iPhones, with no technology, nothing. I remember meeting friends. I need to meet them. I need to go to their place. They come to my place as well. So, we made happen. When I look back now, my goodness, without phone, you made things happen. You're living a life. So I feel very grateful that I grew up, back in Brazil, in touch with nature. And I'm very lucky as well to know that my parents, they let me be free. I think when I look back, I think I'm the person right now. I am right now, the way I approach life, the way I believe in life. What I feel life is based on that, because my parents, they just let me be free. They just told me, oh, look after yourself, be good to people, this kind of, rules that we always been told. But besides that, like even religion as well. I remember my mom, she thought I would be a priest because I was going to the church very often. I loved going to the church at the time. I loved it. And I think I loved the atmosphere around. I remember doing the mass. I loved being the mass, like singing, clapping. I loved it. But my parents never said, okay, you should go to church, you must go to the church. No, never been a rule. You know, I just loved it, going to the church at the time. And so for me, that freedom, that's what I miss the most, that childhood freedom that I had at the time. So yes, that's my God, great question. I love it. So that's what I miss the most about my childhood.
Sounds great.
Did you enjoy the interview, Casey?
Yeah, it's been fun.
Thank you so much for being so open, you know, for sharing your your challenges in life, when you were younger. And I think, again, talking about those things, it's not easy, but at the same time as well, we are helping people, because all of us, we had let's say, even I was talking about my childhood, but I had as well my challenges, back when I was a child as well. It wasn't just skies, flowers, sunshine, you know what I mean? I had as well my struggles as well. But when we talk about, when we share that, we might be helping people, do you know what I mean? I think it's great to talk, and we are open people's minds. I think talking about it, sharing those experiences. So thank you so much. Thanks for being open, for being brave to share those experiences, because I'm sure it's not easy, because it takes you back to that period of your life. So thank you very much for that. But before you go, if you can share a positive message, something that you live by.
Just remember to spread love everywhere you go. You never know who's gonna need it, and that little random act might make the world of difference to someone.
Totally. Thanks so much. Say hello to Chris. Tell him that I miss his voice talk like that.
I will.
Say hello to him, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay, Casey? Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.